One of the many victims killed at Metro Atlanta gas stations in 2022. Atlanta police saying that she was not the intended target. Tonight would have been her 65th birthday. We're glad you're with us at 11. I'm Rick Fullbaum.
And I'm Sean Gables. Atlanta News First, Chelsea Bimeford live in Atlanta tonight. In Chelsea, the family and investigators still looking for the person who pulled the trigger.
Sean, they are, and it's been about 10 months since Lashunder Edge was caught in the crossfire at a southeast Atlanta gas station. Tonight, on her birthday, friends and family gathered there to celebrate her life and to pray that police find who did this.
I know no one is perfect, but she was perfect.
Carletta Ford is talking about her aunt, Lashunder Edge.
I can't even say it was the wrong place at the wrong time because we've been here in this neighborhood for years. Like, when it happened, this whole entire parking lot was full of people, just full of people. She was like the neighborhood celebrity.
Ford says her aunt was walking to the gas station on Lakewood Avenue to cash in on a winning lottery ticket when someone opened fire. Atlanta police say she was not the intended target.
She didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve it at all.
On what would have been her 65th birthday, Edge's friends and family ate cupcakes, scratched off lottery tickets, and released balloons towards the heavens, all in the parking lot where she took her last breath. Her great-nephew tells Atlanta News First he prays for his great-aunt every night.
I said I love her and I wish she was still alive. Her could do everything I wanted to do with her.
No arrests have been made in Edge's death, but her family remains hopeful that by her next birthday, they'll have some answers.
I miss the calls, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, just out of the blue. I miss her calling, telling me how much she loved me, how much she loved my kids. Like, just going through the stages of grief, I'm angry because she just didn't deserve it. Like, and I know somebody knows something. Like, somebody knows something.
And Atlanta police believe there were 2 cars involved in that drive-by shooting back in March. One, a dark-colored Acura SUV, which has been recovered, and another gray sedan, which has not been located. Again, no arrests made, so if you know anything about this case, you are asked to call APD, or Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in Midtown tonight, Chelsea Bimeford, Atlanta News First.